welcome to another installment of Golf More, Swing Less. Today I want to talk about what could be the very most important fundamental in golf, and it happens to be the grip, the way we place our hands in the golf club. On the contrary to most instructors and most golfers' beliefs, there's not one way to hold the golf club. You'll see there's a variety of different grips to choose from, in fact 3 being the most popular, which we've got the 10-finger grip, also called the baseball grip. We've got the interlocking grip and the overlapping grip. But before we get to the nuts and bolts of that, let's first talk about grip pressure. No matter how you hold the golf club, it's important that your grip pressure is light. On a scale of 1 to 10, the grip pressure should be about a 5 or a 6. And the reason being is that when we hold the golf club tight, we have far less range of motion in our forearms. So if you, like most golfers, get the club face to the ball open, if you have a tendency to push, slice, or fade, there's a high likelihood that you're delaying the release due to holding the club too tight. And it doesn't matter if you're holding the club correctly or incorrectly, you're basically using the small muscles in your hands, fingers, and forearms, causing you to block at the point of contact if you hit the ball to the right. I highly recommend trying lighter grip pressure. And on the contrary to the way traditional golf instruction would lead you to believe, we don't have to grip the club tighter with our left hand than our right hand. To make things more simplistic, I recommend golfers get more consistency in their grip. Left hand, right hand should both be about a 5 or a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10, because both hands play equal role in getting to a good impact position. So for example, we talk about our right hand and where our right hand's responsible. When we put our right hand on the golf club, the further down we put it, the more in control our right hand is. In fact, if I slide my right hand further down, you'll see I'm able to release. My right arm takes control, firing like a piston, and that golf club comes to the ball slightly closed. So if you're one who has a tendency to hit the ball to the right, you're going to want to consider a strong grip, which we're going to talk about in a moment, and lighter grip pressure. Okay, so let's talk about the nuts and bolts of how we place our hands in the club. First, let's talk about the correct way to hold the golf club. I'm going to start for you right-handed golfers with my left hand on the diagonal. In fact, I'm going to try to get right here where my callus is going to wrap right on top of the lambkin logo. My thumb is then going to come straight down to the right of center. So I use the logo, the lambkin logo on my grip, to gauge where my thumb is. I'd like for my thumb to be straight down to the right of center, much like that. That would be a correct grip. Now in that position, I can look down very easily and see 2 knuckles on my left hand in the playing position. From there, I'm going to go ahead and place my right hand on, and the lifeline on my palm is going to overlap my left thumb. So this hand goes on essentially just like I'm reaching out to shake hands with somebody. So if the lifeline on my palm is there, my hand is on the right hand side, and my thumb is going to come over here to the side, off to the left. Now one of the observations you're going to make is that my thumbs are no longer straight down the center. That is one of the first and foremost things that golfers do, is they want to line their thumbs up straight down the golf club. And I think the biggest reason for that is most golfers hold the club, or want to hold the club, like a putter. And the first thing we're introduced to in the game of golf is a putter grip, whether it be in FIAD class when we were young, or whether it be at putt-putt golf with your family. Flat putter grip, golfers are inclined to put their thumbs down the center, and the reason why we don't want to do that is because it promotes grip pressure, finger pressure, which adds tension, and tension can kill a really good golf swing, even just an average golf swing. So our grip, in recap: thumb straight down to the right of center, right thumb off to the side, right hand's in the shake hands position, and the left hand we can see 2 knuckles visible. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts of strong versus weak. Now, if you want a strong grip, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're holding the club tighter. What that means is that you want a grip that's going to influence more hook or more draw into your game. So essentially, here's what we do. We take our left hand and we turn that left hand over so that your thumb comes a little bit further to the right of center like that. Now, what you'll notice if I take my hand off the club is my hand is definitely turned over more to my right. So where does my hand want to be naturally? My hand wants to be the same way it hangs at my side like this when I'm standing talking to somebody. So if I put my hand in this position where it's turned over more, my thumb is straight down to the right of center, when I come through and swing this golf club, that promotes more natural rotation and hopefully I can get the club to the ball more like so. Now the difference, or the opposite end of the spectrum, with a weak grip would be more like so. My hand's in this position, therefore not allowing me to create more rotation. So I'm likely going to have my left hand underneath versus on top. And you'll probably see the same thing in the right hand underneath. And now, by holding it primarily in my fingers, I'm going to be holding the club exceptionally tight. And when I come through, I'm going to be more hands and arms, which means that that golf club is going to come to the ball slightly open or more open, causing me to hit more shots that veer to the right, whether it be a push, slice, or a fade. So we're talking about a strong grip. We're talking about dialing that hand over even more. And your top hand is kind of your lead dominant hand, so to speak. So how I place my top hand on, or my lead hand, you probably wouldn't be able to tell if I was using a 10-finger grip, an interlocking grip, or an overlapping grip. So the truth is, there's not much of a distinct advantage or disadvantage to go with one or the other or the third option. So it's very important that we get something that fits our hand type and something that we feel very comfortable with. So let's first talk about how to hold the club correctly. The interlocking grip happens to have the most room for error, and I'll show you exactly why. When we talk about the interlocking grip, we're talking about locking the two fingers together, the pointer of the left and the pinky of the right. Where we'd like to be is locking at the big knuckle of the hand. So if we get a good grip with our left hand, we talked about how we'd like to be a little bit stronger with our thumb straight down to the right of center like this. Even if you're weak or neutral, that's okay, depending on how you'd like to play the ball and where you're most comfortable. But really, it all comes down to how we link and lock the fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place my hands on the golf club correctly, and then I'm going to lock my fingers together. So to give you a close-up, I'd really like to lock at the big knuckle here. A lot of golfers end up locking at the webbings of the fingers right in there. And so when I lock at the webbings of the fingers, my right hand gets caught a little bit more. What's going to happen is that when I come back to impact, that golf club's going to be very hook-faced or very closed. So if you're a golfer who has a tendency to duck hook, to hit significant draws on a regular basis, let's take a look at that right hand grip. So when that right hand's underneath, I'm going to take it back, and the club may even look like this in my backswing, but more importantly, when I come back to the ball from the forward view, it's always going to be closed. So I can fix that issue by placing my hand on here in the shake hands position, and as you'll see, my right hand and my left hand, those fingers lock at the big knuckle rather than underneath. So when I come back to the golf ball, hopefully that's what we're looking for, is a square club face. So if you're going to use the interlocking grip, make sure that your right hand's on the shake hands position, and that your two locking fingers lock at the big knuckle. It happens to be more efficient because there's less probability that we're going to grip the club incorrectly. It also happens to be the most popular on the PGA Tour. Doesn't necessarily mean that's going to work for you, but let's talk about the difference here. Now, being that it's so similar, we're basically overlapping our pointer finger where we would normally lock if we were using the interlocking grip. So the little valley or channel here between the middle finger and the pointer finger is where my pinky is going to rest. And again, we're looking for the connection between the big knuckles here, not the webbing of the hand, because that would then put my right hand underneath. Okay, let's talk about and that's going to cause the club face to come back. Certainly, to the ball. I'm in the minority for holding the club with a 10-finger grip. However, it's what feels most comfortable to me. The reason why I'll tell someone that there is a slight advantage is because we now have all 10 fingers on the golf club. When you look at the way someone overlaps, they've got 9 fingers. When you interlock, you also have 9 fingers in the golf club. So if someone says they want a grip where they can get more control, certainly it would be more advantageous to put all of your fingers on the golf club. Because again, more fingers, less likelihood that golf club is going to twist in your hands. Now, on that note, the golf club is not twisting in our hands because we're not holding tight enough. The golf club twists in our hands because we strike the ball out here or in here, causing that golf club to open or close at the point of contact. So when your instincts tell you that you should hold tighter because the club's twisting, why don't we hold looser so we can make a smoother, more effortless stroke. That's going to give us more center face contact, so don't worry about any of that stuff. We talk about a good 10-finger grip or a good baseball grip. We're going to basically approach it the same way we do with the interlock and the overlap. I'd really like for my left hand to be on in a relatively neutral to strong position where my thumb is parallel with that logo but parallel to the right of center. So again, I want to look down and see two knuckles on my left hand. I want to get my right hand to overlap my left thumb, and I get that thumb off to the side. And a good position, good picture from here is those fingers are butt up together, no gap between them. Now, one other reason why I like the 10-finger grip is when my right hand is lower, you're going to notice that the lower I put that right hand, the more my body has this natural tilt. Now, a lot of golfers don't know about the tilt, but we're supposed to have anywhere from 6 to 10 degrees of tilt away from our target, not just in the shoulders, but also in the spine. And the reason why that is because my right hand's lower if I'm a right-handed player. If my hands were level on the golf club, I would then be square. I'd be vertical in my spine and horizontal in my shoulders. So by giving myself more natural tilt, I'm going to get myself in a position to make better golf swings. But as we all know, our equilibrium, which is our sensory here, it really doesn't want us to be tilted because there's nothing we do like this on a day-to-day basis. So your natural instincts say, hey, level yourself out. Well, if I hold with the 10-finger grip, I'm more inclined to have a good tilt and a good setup position. So in addition to that, further down I can slide that hand on the golf club. We'll just say we split our hands slightly. That's going to give me more natural release and more natural rotation. So if you're looking for a couple more yards, if you're looking to fight that inconsistent fade, push, or slice, a 10-finger grip is going to give you a nice change of pace and going to help you get a little bit more roll, a little bit straighter shots, and hopefully maybe a little bit more distance. I recommend trying a practice grip. It's a really inexpensive and efficient way to improve your grip. What a lot of golfers can do for about $10 is go to a local pro, get one of these installed, and put it on an old golf club, something you have laying around the house, maybe something you don't use, and take this to the driving range with you. Put it in the trunk of your car, and always get back to it before you go to the driving range, before you go to the golf course, or keep it in the garage. Use it in your backyard a couple days a week to make some practice swings with. Whether you're an advanced player or you're brand new to the game, it's always good to have that reference point. So you have this molded practice handle here. They come available in juniors, ladies, men's, right hand, left hand, and it's molded particularly more for an overlap or an interlocking grip, but I can put my hands on there like so. I can accomplish the overlap, the interlock, even the 10-finger grip, but it's a great reference point to help you square that club face at impact and hit straighter shots. Because when it comes down to it, the grip is really influential to how the club face meets the ball. It's influential as to the trajectory, one of the most important fundamentals in the golf swing. If you have any questions, comments, please post them below. I'll get back to as many as I can. This is Chris signing off for Golf More, Swing Less. Thanks for watching.